everybody, welcome back today guys to the channel. Back here, SuperStreet the game, they just released a brand new customization trailer yesterday, and it was a pretty detailed trailer. It actually gave us a good insight on the game, what to expect when we do go into the garage, and this was posted on their YouTube channel by the name of Lion Castle. I have yet to actually hear about this YouTube channel. I just subscribed to it as I'm recording this, but the actual description of this video says, for a car enthusiast, there's nothing more sacred than your garage. Get your tools and get ready as we reveal the first customization gameplay for SuperStreet the game. Discover the extensive options you have while tuning your car. Personalize your ride using over 700 car parts from the biggest aftermarket brands to customize your exterior, interior, and performance. SuperStreet the game will release on the 4th of September 2008 on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC Steam. Real tuners don't buy their cars, they build it. All footage is captured in game. So that's big news, right? I mean, this is our first ever look at the game, and first glance, this is exactly what we were looking for with them. Now, my only problem with this so far is the rim selection. The whole rim just goes into the ground. I'm not a fan of that. I would rather it just go to the back as the tires do, but that's really my only issue so far with what I've seen on this actual trailer. Now, I did slow this down by 50% just to kind of take in everything as it's happening. It's a very fast transition going through all of these parts, and I kind of wanted to make sure that we see these detail for detail as they get equipped onto the car. Now, if you do look at the very top, we have two different types of currency, one of which is probably a dollar amount, and then the second which looks to have some type of R icon on it. I don't really know exactly what this is, but this seems to be the currency of the game, because if you do look on the top right of your screen right there, it does say a goal amount. So it seems like you're gonna have to reach that specific goal, and then that is gonna be maybe even the end game, or to that chapter of whatever you're doing. We still don't understand or really know how the game is going to work in terms of events, in terms of what we're going to be doing outside of this actual garage. So it's very much still in the air, and this is still a work in progress, if you will. So we are far from being finished on here, and obviously we did have a lot of people that were for and against it, but one of the biggest things was that at the end of this trailer, it did mention that it will be delayed, and a lot of people were actually happy that it was delayed, because obviously we want a good game. We want a game that we're going to be happy with once we do buy it, and will be what we expect right out of the gate. We don't want a game where we have to wait for the next update and things of that. Just usually doesn't work out well for the game. Usually people will sell it, or they'll just forget about the game after that point. Now, we had a comment here from their YouTube channel on Lion Castle, Just Daz, and he goes, "Finally this is out. I'm happy they've delayed the game in order to polish it." And that's one of the the main things that everybody was saying in the comments, was that everyone was just happy that they were going to delay the game. Obviously it sucks. It's right back in September when school's starting up, right? But it will be a more polished game. And from what we've seen here on this trailer, I'm very excited, right? I mean, a lot of the swaps here, you can see they're going in right out of the bay, right back into it. I think it's really cool that they've taken the time to make sure that all the swaps actually do fit. And obviously we have a lot of different brands in this game. So I mean, this is, I'm hoping, the tip of the iceberg on SuperStreet the game, and they're just showcasing a very small chunk of what is to offer on this game. Now, one of the biggest things that they did not show on this was interior customization, but if you do look on the top right, it does say interior, so that will be coming for sure. It's just they're probably saving it for the next gameplay trailer that does drop down, which I'm very excited for, because I feel like everyone's just waiting for gameplay physics to really see how this game is going to feel, because that's going to be the deciding factor for a lot of people. Obviously, Need for Speed did it very well, and they sold their game with strictly customization, right? I mean, that was their main seller on the game, Need for Speed 2015, and it brought in a lot of people. And then once they started playing it, they realized that the physics, they were just right, they weren't the greatest. Cars were on rails, there was just a lot of issues, it didn't feel right? So I feel like, I really hope that this game is going to be different, and we actually have a good physics engine to this. I feel like the people running the game have a good idea of what it should feel like as well too. When I did do my interview with them, they really felt like they've played all of the past racing games, right? They knew what went into the great games growing up, and I really hope that they put that into this game, right? I mean, we have a lot of the really cool things that we love from past games like Need for Speed, the sound system upgrades. That was really cool. Unfortunately, when I did ask about those in the interview, they said that, there's no purpose behind them, which I thought it would have been cool. I just hope that we can pop our trunks, at a meet or something like that. No game has allowed us to really show off our car as we're playing. Yes, we can do that as we're upgrading and stuff, but not actually as we're driving around with friends and, you know, being able to stop, hang out with people, pop your engine, show what swap you got, maybe show what's in the trunk, you know, open your doors up, show that nitrous bottle, right? So I'm really hoping for something big on this game to just, you know, step outside the boundaries of what we know are the norms of, you know, an online racing game. And I really hope that SuperStreet can do this. And obviously a lot of people are comparing this to, say, the Crew 2 or, you know, Forza or Need for Speed, but you know, this is not even in the same category. You know, maybe in terms of the name, yes, it's a huge name brand, right? I mean, SuperStreet, we know SuperStreet, everybody knows SuperStreet. It's been around for, geez, man, probably what, like 15, 20 years probably? But this is still an indie developer that is making this game, right? So they don't have all the tools that, say, a AAA game would have, like the Crew 2. So I don't really feel like it's fair to put them in the same category in that sense. But, you know, from what we're showing right here with the tires and, you know, the specs and the spacers, the camber and all that, you know, they definitely have the features of a AAA title. And I do hope that, you know, they start doing some different things that are really going to separate it down the road. I'm talking things like tuning, maybe turbo tuning, you know, PSI and stuff like that, you know, being able to tune different things about the car that we've never been able to do prior. You know, maybe getting back into the ECU tuning with the turbo and stuff like that back in the Underground 2 days, right? They were really cool features that we just don't see anymore in today's game. So I'm really hoping for more in-depth tuning that'll really separate yourself from others in this game with these cars. Now, in terms of the actual body modifications, I did like the way that they did them, right? I mean, obviously they're not, you know, exact. You did see at the rear end, it has 3 tail lights. Now, some of you guys may think that looks a little bit funny. I think it does as well too. Obviously, you can change those out to, you know, really whatever you want. And that's the great thing about this game, is that I feel like all the parts are going to be universal for each chassis. It's just a matter of, you know, what chassis you want to put on. Now, to my understanding, I think there's going to be, what, 5 or 6 chassis available on the game. And then, yeah, right there, you saw the damn triples pop up there. So, I mean, you can change all of those. You know, it's definitely to whatever your, you know, style and taste is, but you're going to have those base vehicles that you can do all of that on. So, I just hope that we have a lot of stuff to do. You know, games nowadays, you know, you put so much time into them, you play them for so long that, you know, they just become so dried out so fast. So I'm really hoping that we have a good progression system on here where, you know, you actually have to work to unlock the parts. I feel like all of these games nowadays, I mean, we're just playing with cheat codes, right? I mean, if you got a game, say 10 years ago, say like Need for Speed, you go to customize a car, you have nothing, right? I mean, maybe you have a couple bumpers, but you need to unlock all of these bumpers and performance upgrades, where nowadays you go on, say, Forza or, you know, anything like that. As long as you have money, you got it. You don't have to do anything to unlock the specific parts, is my problem with these games nowadays. And I feel like it's just, there's no point to, you know, continuously progressively play the game. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, in today's world, they need something to do, right? I mean, you can't just sit there and just be cruising around all day trying to just make, say, money to make your car. And, you know, once your car is done, what do? Right? So I'm really hoping that, you know, there is some type of progression, and I'm praying that we do have online for launch. And I really think it's smart if they did maybe a beta for the game or anything like that, just to, you know, see how the servers are going to react to, you know, the amount of people that are going to play the game. I feel like they're going to be really overwhelmed with the amount of people playing the game. And I feel like if there's not going to be online for this at the start date, there's going to be a lot of issues. A lot of people are not going to be happy. People want to play online nowadays, right? I mean, they don't want to sit there and do a single player by themselves. So I really hope, you know, for SuperStreet's sake, because I really want this game to do well, right? I mean, this is the first time that an indie game is, you know, trying to compete with the big boys. And, you know, I think it's a great thing. You know, I hope that this will, you know, spring other game developers to, you know, maybe want to do something like this, you know, try to take on this challenge of, you know, trying to enter into this, you know, console generation of, you know, games. And, you know, it's not a cheap thing to do. And that's really the main problem with a lot of developers, is that it's just, you know, it's too costly. So, you know, it's awesome to see somebody being able to sneak in here and get this done. And, you know, I'm just hoping for the best, right? I got a positive attitude moving forward. Would love to know your thoughts down below. Are you ready for SuperStreet the game, man? Coming in September, are you going to be picking it up? What are your dislikes? What are your likes? Let's leave it all down below in the comment section. Next gameplay trailer that gets dropped, I will do another video like this and go over all the top comments. And that's going to do it for today's episode. As I said, the full link for this in real time will be found down below. As I said, this was a 50% reduction on the video, just to, you know, really see the parts going in and out. Hopefully you guys did enjoy that, didn't find it annoying. I kind of liked it, right? I mean, the trailer was fast. It was like 2 minutes. If I chopped it with the 50%, it came down to about 5 minutes, and we really got to see in detail. So I'm excited for this though. SuperStreet the game. Let me know your thoughts down below. You guys can follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, which are all found down below, including mine, right? I mean, subscribe to me too. I appreciate it. Coming September the 4th, 2018. Thank you guys once again for watching. Don't forget to slap that like button. I'm out. Peace.